Hi, this is Professor Rujo Moreno with some notes on Objective 4 in Chapter 4. This one's about opening a checking account, which is an activity for you to do as well. But basically speaking, again, checking account should help you access your cash, keep it safe and access it quickly. So you don't want any monthly fees involved. You don't want anything to block access to your money. After all, it is a demand deposit, which means the bank needs to give that to you on demand. It is your money, it's not the bank's money. So some banks make it easier to get all of that. Some banks make it a little bit more difficult. That's why it's important to look for a bank. When you do open an account, you can have an individual account or you can have a joint account. The thing with a joint account, you and another person, that means either one of you can spend money in that account or can take money out of that account, write checks to that account, etc. So that has to be talked over a lot. Couples need to deal with those things. Very, very important. In terms of you want to keep track of everything that's going in and out of your checking account. Oftentimes people did have a checkbook ledger. Now it's electronic. But either way, you should be reviewing all of that to make sure all those monies coming in and out are things that you authorize, that you want it to happen. Some people write checks they don't have enough cash for. That can result in an overdraft. Banks do have overdraft protection plans for checking accounts, but they are usually fee-based and they're loans. And so they carry an interest rate as well. So it's really not a good idea to have an overdraft protection. Some banks will not do that. They'll actually say if you write a check and there's not enough money in your checking account, we'll simply move the money from your savings account into your checking account to cover. Those are okay. Those are good. Again, as long as there's no fees and no interest, you're really great. Remember, when you're writing a check is not the same as cash. A check is an order that you've provided in order for your bank to pay the person you wrote the check to a certain amount of money. Well, you can stop that order. That's what a stop payment is. You're telling your bank, look, I wrote this check, but I don't want you to pay it. Okay, I don't want you to pay the check. That's basically a stop payment. You need to do that relatively quickly so the check does not get paid. Okay. And that's when it's paid, it basically comes out of your account and it goes into the other person's account, whoever you wrote the check to. Monthly statements are something, again, that's really important to make sure you understand everything that's coming in and out, and that you have verified all of this, because in today's world, the worst thing in the world is to sort of be subject to identity theft or some other types of things where people have access to your accounts without your knowledge. So please reconcile your accounts on a regular basis. Okay. And the last thing that this part talks about is there are special types of checks. Some people, when they go traveling, they prefer to have a traveler's check. It's not as important or a big thing anymore as it used to be, because you can simply use Visa, MasterCard networks. They're a little bit safer. Um, there are certified checks, which basically is a personal check that the bank certifies the funds are in your account. And so you can use a personal check that's certified. That person knows that if it's certified, the funds are there. And the bank basically holds that money aside to pay that check. And a cashier's check, you're basically paying cash to the bank. The bank is cutting the check on its own account. So that's a cashier's check. Those, they don't bounce. And so that is a little bit more information for you on this part of the chapter.